In today's class, we will be discussing about encapsulating security payload. So here in encapsulating security payload, we here will be discussing about encapsulating security payload format, encryption and authentication algorithm, and what is padding, what is a relay service, and what is transport and tunnel mode. So ESP format, ESP means nothing but what, as we know, encapsulating security payload. So yeah, this encapsulating security payload, it can be used to provide confidentiality for data origin authentication, for connectionless integrity, and for anti-replay services and traffic flow confidentiality. So for these purposes, this encapsulating security payload, it is useful. So this so you can see here figure. So encapsulating security payload can be explained with figure. So here you can see figure A and figure B. So figure shows top level format of an ESP packet. It contains the following fields. So here you can see figure A and figure B. So figure A, it tells about the top level format of an ESP packet, and figure B tells about a substructure of payload data. So in figure A you can see security parameter index is the security sequence number is the payload data padding. So here also in figure B, it is having also security parameter index sequence number. So one additionally it is added, that is initialization value, and here uh, payload data. So here also rest of payload data. One more thing extra row is added, that is TFC padding, and padding is there. Only two extra compared to this top level format of an ESP and substructure of an payload data. Only two additional rows is added, that is initialization value and TFC padding. So figure A is nothing but top level format. So what it consisting of? It contains the following fields. One is security parameter index, sequence number, payload data, padding, pad length, nest header, integrity check value. So here, security parameter index means it is a 32-bit. It identifies a security association. For that reason, this security parameters index is useful. So it is a 32-bit which identifies the security association. Next one is sequence number. So sequence number, it is nothing but what, it is also having 32-bit. It provides an anti-replay function. So it provides an anti-replay function means, so here anti-replay functions means nothing but what, copying the authenticated data. There is nothing but what, anti-replay functions. So here next one is payload data. Payload data, that is variable. It is an IP packet protected by encryption. So this packet is protected by doing encryption or by going for a cryptography. Next one is padding. So it is of 0 to 255 bytes. So the purpose of so it is unused portion of a data structure. So padding means nothing but what, it is an unused portion of data structure. Typically padding is done at the end of the structure, that is padding. Next is pad length. So it indicates number of pad bytes immediately coming before this field. So it indicates number of pad bytes immediately coming before this field. Next is next header. So it identifies type of data contained in the payload data fields. So which kind of data is contained? Payload means we know it is actual data. So which kind of data contains? So it identifies the type of data. There is nothing but what, next header. Integrity check value. So integrity check value is nothing but what, this can be explained using equation, that is integrity check value means nothing but what, ICV. So ICV equal to ESP packet minus authentication data field. So ICV means verifying integrity of the packet. So very integrity check value means nothing but what, we are verifying the integrity of the packet. So in figure B, so you can see in figure B, So we have discussed about figure A. So figure A, first we have discussed about SPI, that is Security Parameter Index. So it is a 32-bit identifies security association. Next is sequence number. So it is also a 32-bit. It provides an anti-replay function. Next is payload data. It is a IP packet protected by encryption. Next is padding. It is an unused portion of data structure, which is added typically at the end of structure. It is added. So IC. Next was pad length. So pad length, nothing but what it immediately comes before the field. Next header means it identifies type of data contained in the field, and integrity check value means nothing but it verifies integrity of the packet. So coming to figure B, uh, in the figure B, there are two additional fields are present. As you can see, two additional fields. One is initialization value, another is TFC. So what is this initialization value? Initialization value, it is required by the encryption or authenticated encryption algorithm used for ESP. For ESP purpose, either it may be required for encryption or authenticated encryption algorithm. So which is used for ESP. That is nothing but what initialization value. Next is TFC. TFC means traffic flow confidentiality. When tunnel mode is used, then TFC is used after payload data before padding field. So it is used after payload data. It is used, you can see in the diagram, it is used, this TFC, it is used for tunnel mode, and it is used after payload data. You can see this after payload data TFC is used, and it is used before padding. So traffic flow confidentiality. When tunnel mode is used, then TFC we have to use in order to provide security for the entire packet. Next topic is padding. So as we discussed, padding is nothing but what unused portion. So here padding field serves in several purposes. It serves in several purposes. One is it is used to expand plain text to the required length. So if there is some plain text, if there is some original data, if I want to extend that data, then this padding can be used. Second one, ESP format requires pad length, and the next header fields aligned within a 32-bit. The padding is used to assure the alignment. So in order to, if some ESP format, if it should be aligned within a 32-bit means, for such alignment, this padding is used. Next, it is used to provide traffic flow confidentiality. So these are the purposes of padding. Next is anti-replay service. So here, replay attack means what? A replay attack is one in which an attacker obtains a copy of an authenticated packet. So replay means nothing but what? Copying of an authenticated packet and later transmitting to the intended destination. So here, anti-replay service means avoiding such copy of an authenticated packet. Avoiding such copy of authenticated packet is anti-replay service. So this is explained with the diagram. So you can see this is the anti-replay mechanism. So here you can see this is the anti-replay mechanism. So in the diagram you can see it is having a fixed window size W. So here you can see if the received packet falls within the window. So whatever packets comes within this window, whatever the packet comes within this window, and it is considered as new, then MAC is checked. MAC means message authentication code is checked. If the packet is authenticated, so means whatever packet is there in this window, if the packet is authenticated, then the corresponding slot in the window is marked. So if the packet is authenticated, then it is marked with, it is filled, these boxes are filled. So whichever boxes are filled, no? So such boxes we are saying that authenticated packet we have received. If the received packet is to the right of the window, so if the received packet is to the right of the window, this side, and the MAC is checked, if the packet is authenticated, the window is advanced so that the sequence number is the right edge of the window and the corresponding slot in the window is marked. So if the packet is followed at the right side, then window size is expanded. If the received packet is to the left of the window, or if authentication fails, the packet is discarded. This is an auditable event. So if the received side is at the left side of the window, and if it is not authenticated, then such packets are discarded. So it means what? See, whichever packets falling in this window, whichever the packets falling in this window, if the packet is authenticated, then it is shown with box field. You can see marked if valid packet is received. Means if a valid packet is received, it is shown with dark boxes. If unvalid boxes are received, then it is shown with white boxes. And if the packet falls right side, then window size is expanded. If the packet is falls on the left side, then and if authentication fails, then we are discarding such packets. So this is the anti-replay mechanisms. So next is transport and tunnel mode. So transport mode and tunnel mode. In the previous we have discussed about transport and tunnel mode. So transport mode in previous class I have told that transport mode means nothing but what it provides security to the upper layer protocols, and tunnel modes means it provides security to the entire packet. So here this transport mode ESP and tunnel mode ESP is explained with the diagram. You can see figure A, it tells about transport level security. Figure B, it tells about transport mode versus tunnel mode encryption. So figure A, you can see here encryption is provided end to end. So this is internet network, external network. So system to system communication is taking place. So in figure A, encryption is provided directly between two hosts. So here in figure A, transport level security, we can see that encryption is provided directly. So here encryption is taking place directly. So between two systems, encryption is directly, it is taking place between two hosts. But if you see in figure B, uh, how tunnel mode operation can be used to set up a virtual network. So here in figure B, we can see that tunnel mode operation can be used to set up the virtual private network. So you can see this organization has four private network. You can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So this organization, it is having four private network interconnected across the internet. So each is interconnected across the internet. Ports on the internal network use the internet for transport of data but do not interact with the other internet-based host. So here interaction is taking place from this system to this system, this system to this system. So here interaction is taking place with the help of this internet, but they won't interact with the other internet-based host. So this is the uh, operation of transport mode versus tunnel mode encryption. So you can see here this transport mode operation can be summarized with this diagrams. So this is the transport mode in which we can summarize. So here first point you can see at the source, the block of data consisting the ESP trailer. See here, this you can see data transmission control protocol origin IP header. So for this origin header, this is internet protocol version 4, this internet protocol version 6. So this is encapsulating security payload. Before applying encapsulating security payload, it is in the format. In this way, it is having the format. If it is IPv4, it is having in this format. If it is IPv6, it is having in this format. So this A, what you are seeing is nothing but what before applying ESP. So at the source, the block of data consisting of the ESP trailer plus the entire transport layer segment is encrypted, and the plain text of this block is replaced with the ciphertext to form the IP packet for transmission. Authentication is added if the option is selected. So in the figure B, you can see transport mode. So for here, what we are doing here, we are adding encapsulating security payload header. We are heading, and hop by hop destination routing fragment also we are heading. So here authenticated and encryption is taking place. Then in figure C, you can see tunnel mode. So here entire packet is encrypted. So it means you can see here the packet is then routed to the destination. Each intermediate of router needs to examine the process, the IP header plus plain text extension header, but does not need to examine the ciphertext. So here, if I want to transmit packet from source to destination, what I am doing at source side, I am providing some authentications, and providing authentication, I am transmitting to destination. It means that converting plain text to ciphertext. Then I converting to ciphertext, I am transmitting that packet. Then destination side, that ciphertext is converted to plain text, and then original data will be eliminated. So that is summarized using these diagrams. So using these diagrams, that is summarized. So third point, the destination node examines and processes the IP header plus any plain text IP extension header. Then on the basis of SPI in the ESP header, the destination node encrypts the remainder of the packet to recover the plain text transport layer segments. So next is tunnel mode ESP. So tunnel mode ESP is summarized using this diagram. So you can see application TCP IP security, application TCP. So this is for transport mode. Application TCP IP security IP. One more extra field is added in the tunnel mode. So here it is summarized using these points. The source prepares an inner IP packet with the destination with the destination address of the target internal host. The outer packet is routed to the destination firewall. Each intermediate router needs to examine the process the outer IP packet header plus any outer IP extension header, but does not need to examine the ciphertext. Third, the destination firewall examines and processes the outer IP packet header plus any outer IP extension header. Then on the basis of the SPI in the ESP header, the destination node decrypts the remainder of the packet to recover the plain text inner IP packet. The inner packet is routed through zero or more routers in the internal network to the destination host. So this also tells about the encryption and description of the plain text. So plain text is encrypted and it is converted into ciphertext and it is transmitted to the destination side. Again at destination side, ciphertext is decrypted and it is converted to plain text and original data is grabbed. So that is summarized using this diagram, transport mode and tunnel mode. So this is the protocol operation for ESP. So in today's class, we have discussed about encapsulating security payload. So here today we have discussed about encapsulating security payload. So it was having two format. One is top level format and substructure of that format. So those things we have discussed in ESP format. Then we have discussed about encryption and authentication algorithm, and what is padding, what is anti-replace service, and what are transport and tunnel mode. And also we have summarized this transport and tunnel mode. Okay, next class we'll be discussing about combining security association and even internet key exchange and cryptographic source. So these three topics are remaining. So in next class we'll try to cover these three topics. Thank you.